Welcome back to Let's Play Titan Souls. Last time we conquered these woods, so I think it's time we move on and see what else there is to see in this world. This little wood section over here fairly quickly gives way. There's actually a lot of very different, very, small, touchy kind of things, like these little ponds here. Every area just feels very, very different. It's a fairly small world, but it feels like because it was so small, they were really able to just pack in so many different details and use so many, slightly different textures, like those two pillars up there were had different types of cracks in them. I feel like a lot of care was put into making this world feel very worn, very old, very broken. I really like that. There seems to be a few things around here. Walk over that way, we can see a graveyard, and with a little push of the camera, there's even some stuff there, so we'll have to check that out. And there's a door over here, too. Path looks like it splits here, and we'll have to check out that graveyard, but I think we'll go over this way first. And find a pillar. Several pillars. Always make sure that you hit the teleporter first whenever you come to an area, because I've forgotten and been like a 2 or 3 minute walk away after dying to a boss fight. It's not fun. But let's look around. 2 titans to kill here, but might as well just, see the scenery. So much care was put into it. These pillars all seem to have different things on them. Pretty sure we've seen that one on the bottom. I think they were on the first gate. That one there looks familiar, but not quite the same. Either way, I'm sure we'll figure those out eventually. Not much up there, so I think we all know where the first of these titans is. Interesting clover type icon. Sir Knight, and another eyeball, of course. Well, that's not gonna work, so I think, yeah, let's give this a shot. Ow. Alright. Knight Elhanan, legendary Titan Slayer. This is one of the few names that actually appears in plain English. Perhaps there's a reason for that. So, as you can see, he's an archer like we are. But I don't think we're going to be able to get through that armor. Especially if we take an arrow to the head. Ow. Let's try that again. This fight can be very tough, and I actually had to do a lot of tries at this when I was doing my first run of this game, because the timing on the arrows is very, very strange. They move really, really fast, so you honestly just have to know that he's about to fire it at you. These little arrows especially, they can fuck you up. You generally just want to be moving perpendicularly to him to get the best chance. And also, since he has that armor on, we should probably aim for the same thing we hit to start the fight, if it doesn't kill us in the first place. His usual pattern here is to fire 3 arrows, although sometimes he'll fire less, sometimes he won't fire any at all. And that'll give you your shot, which gets rid of the armor and lets you shoot him in the butt. which may or may not be a recurring theme. I was actually really surprised at how quickly I did this in the actual recording run, because it can be pretty tough to hit that arrow and also be in a spot. Like, I was perfectly right between the two of them there. And when you have a shot like that, it's just, you know, it's all about positioning. Left with an eerie skeleton in the same position that we shot it, and a dead arrow. So hey, that's one Titan down and only took 2 attempts. This whole video goes a lot better than the forest, I will say. So, odds are the other Titan is over there, given the little dot being on that side, but that kind of just makes me wonder what's over in this door. It's a whale. It's also some arrows and a strangely familiar write-up, or hieroglyph? I don't know what you would call it. Drawing. It looks kind of like the plant that we fought, and if you look down at the arrows over there, it's right, left, and up. You can actually find instructions to the plant boss over here, which it's kind of a neat little thing, especially because when you first see them, you're like, this has to mean something, but you might not even have found the woods by that point, so it all sort of falls into place. Again, a world filled with neat little touches. This room doesn't seem to have much in it. I mean, some giant coins, but I doubt they're what's going to attack us. Oh, it's getting a bit darker. Something you may or may not have noticed is that whenever we get near a Titan's door, the place actually darkens up a bit before you even go into it. The music quiets down and actually starts a little sting too before the, like, thing. So I get the feeling there's something under there. This is a decently well hidden one, but I kind of like, when I saw that little dot in there, or when I saw the block on the bottom right, I knew there, like, had to be something. So you're kind of drawn to the one little thing that looks sort of strangely out of place in the room. I think it's not that bullshit, but what do I know? I think we found our Titan, though, because we can't press A and open this chest. Might as well get this started. Those are some big coins. Ugh. Ow. This is a mimic, and oh boy. This is one of those fights that I recommend you try to end quickly, because his pattern is pretty much set right at the start. And it can be very hard to dodge him for too much longer, because those coins that he showers out will actually block you if you're trying to roll away. And he can very easily just kind of trap you in a corner, or just outmaneuver you, because his jumps are, like, really, really far. Like this. We were pretty much trapped in that corner there. There was nothing we could do. I've also decided to, on a minor editing note, the last video I kind of felt like everything moved too quickly by jumping between bosses, like from boss fight to boss fight to boss fight to boss fight. So I think I'm going to follow my own advice that I was giving in that video and just leave in the walk back. It'll give me more time to kind of finish thoughts, and I felt like I was kind of rushed when I was the coins will also crush you. When I was constantly going to the fight, and it would distract me, and yeah, let's keep the walkbacks in. This video as a whole, I'm kind of just letting run because none of the Titans in it took too long. I promise we're not going to spend the next 10 minutes on this, maybe. Alright, for real, we got this time. What we're gonna want to do is shoot that crystal that's in the middle of him there. And the best shot we have at damn it. And the best shot we have at that is when he falls down to kind of fire at us. You can also shoot him when he tries to like land on you, but that's really, really high risk, and let's face it, I've already proven that I'm not quite a crack shot at this. So, we'll go for the slightly safer route. It still kills him very quickly, and this is actually the only way I've ever really been able to kill him. Partly because it's fairly easy. Right, I forgot that I failed that way. I was trying to outmaneuver him to get a better view of that gem that's sort of his tongue/center, but it didn't quite work. I do like the design of this boss, though. You kind of expect mimics to have mouths, and in this case, you get that really quick view of it when it first opens up, and it's just a giant mouth. It has the teeth, it has the tongue, but that's actually a giant ruby, and that's a really neat touch. There we go. See, firing in a straight line is much, much easier, if you ask me. Perfect. I missed the first several times because I was kind of at an angle there, and it can be a bit tougher to shoot that way. Still, even that was only 5 tries, and I didn't actually cut anything out there. Not too shabby. You can kind of like clip through this in really weird ways, like his bounding box with his mouth open is very, very strange. Probably not on purpose, but probably not really worth it to change that up too much. Anyway, so hey, we finished up this area, 2 titans, in like half the time it took me to do the last two. Hell, I think at this point we have time to check out that graveyard. Let's just follow the wind. The idle animations for like the grass and things like that are also really neat. And the little wind that whips around. Like, the screen is always fairly active when you're in these places, or when you're out on the overworld. So like, for as dead and empty as the world feels, it still has a lot of character to it. Pop this up, and it looks like we got 2 more titans to take out. Well, that seems like an easy start. You can see the screen darkening again. And of course that whoop. I suppose this is our titan. Wonder if there's a body under there. I think he's actually just having a little nap. I almost feel bad waking him up. I actually swear I've seen this guy have, like, tremble like he had a nightmare, like he's having a nightmare before, but I couldn't get him to do it here, so. Wonder what else is in this room. It's kind of a mausoleum and that. You know, these two look kind of familiar now that I think about it. Well, I guess we found the second of the strange pillars that we saw around there. Yeah, that's definitely this one. The one we saw on the right, that is. Ow. Alright, let's try that again with a little less exploring things and a little more killing titans. Get my arrow back. He always fires like at you in a if you stand still you're going to get hit kind of way. But I think the weak spot's pretty obvious at this point, so let's just get this done. Or just get hit by another one. You do always have to be moving in this fight because, again, he will just shoot right at you and hit you, and it's... Whereas a lot of the other ones are keep moving to avoid a lot of different threats, this is really move only a very specific amount kind of boss. So he'll always be facing you, just no matter what you do. So we're going to have to use a slightly different technique by pulling the arrow back. This can actually be used on a lot of the bosses, but this is really the first one that absolutely requires it. This is really one of the easier Titans, but it's, I mean, it's kind of, you have that time to think as long as you master the art of moving just a little bit. One more. When I first came here, I actually thought maybe, you know, it's in the grave somewhere. We push one of these stones out of the way. This one seems kind of old, but none of them seem to have any give. This little path up here might have something. Or just stop. There is a door, and it kind of seems to have an overhang and a path. There's... I have a suspicion. Yeah, that little bit right there should hopefully be enough for you to realize that this is the old RPG fake wall trick. And that the path to get to this one is right over here. Well, no zoop. So, guess there's a little bit more. Maybe a lovely painting. I see a dude, I see a face, I see an arrow going into the face, and the ever-present eye. Very strange. Still haven't found it. I wonder if it's just going to a new area or something. Huh? What now? That's a hand. Less encumbered? You mean the night guy? Hell. I think we found the face from the last painting. And a whole guy to go along with it. But doesn't really seem like he's in much of a fighting mood. Also seems kind of like... Are those shoulder pads or are those chains? This doesn't really feel right. Maybe we'll do this later. I think it's time we take a bit of a break, so guess I'll see you guys next time.